Hello everyone and welcome to another Pokemon Pocket video. Today we're going to be looking at a deck that is one of the most fun decks that I've been playing recently. It's Greninja, Bruxish and Weezing. So we can take a look at the deck list. It's really fun. It's quite strong. Is it the best deck ever? No. However, the strength of this deck is that just how many plays there are available to actually make and all of the options you have. So just going to be running through the list very quickly. We do have Greninja. I'm sure a lot of you are well aware of how Greninja works. Not only does he do his 20 damage from bench wherever you want, which is very powerful of course, but he also hits relatively hard when you include that 20 damage. So he is very able with his health pool as well to sort of jump into the fight and just deal 80 that turn. It can be pretty powerful, as well as being able to take a hit from a lot of Pokemon. Next up, we do have Weezing. Again, you all know Weezing by now. 2 Weezings, 2 Kogas in there. This will apply poison, and also we do in fact run Dark Energy in this deck because all of our Pokemon only require one of their own energy types to be able to do their attacks. So it's really worthwhile. Weezing jumps in, tanks of course, poisons, puts some damage out, Koga away, and then cycle, rinse, and repeat. Now you might be thinking, well, yep, there's a lot of chip damage, there's a lot of sort of decay damage going on with Greninjas, Weezings, and so on, but what's the payoff? Well, sometimes tanking and doing the chip damage is payoff enough. However, I did start playing 2 Bruxish to really help out, because again, it only needs 1 Water Energy plus 1 whatever, Dark in this case, if needed. But it's great to just sit on the bench, jump in, and spike 70 damage out of nowhere, which is really strong. Worst case, it has a reasonable enough health to actually be a tank if you don't draw a Coughing to go Weezing early to then defend your frogs, because you really want the Greninjas to sit on the bench until you're ready for them to sort of jump out. So it's good enough, right? It has the spike ability with the damaged Pokemon that are likely going to be damaged because of the combination of Weezing and Greninja, and also its retreat cost makes it so that it's not the end of the world, right? Like, it can jump in, attack, and jump out, or if you have to start Bruxish, then if you do get a Coughing with the help of an X-Speed or even just paying the energy, you can pull that back and then get a Weezing in without too much effort. The rest of the deck, fairly straightforward. 1 Sabrina, 2 Professor Research, 2 Pokeball, and then that 1 X-Speed. This deck doesn't have too much wiggle room. Of course, you can remove an X-Speed if you want. You can remove the Sabrina. But outside of that, because there is a lot of Pokemon in this list, more than most, you don't have tons of item or trainer card space. There are arguments you could take out a Bruxish if you want, if you do really want a second Sabrina or a second X-Speed, or whatever you like, maybe a potion. However, I've played this deck a lot, and I do feel like this is a good makeup. And I feel like that obviously the 2 Research, 2 Pokeball, and 2 Kogas are kind of non-negotiable for me. So yeah, that's the list. I'm going to play a few games and we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm worried that they seem to like Pikachu, because although we can beat Pikachu, it's maybe not the best matchup. Okay, looks like they've got water, which is fine. This is going to be one of those games where we do start Bruxish. Not perfect, having Bruxish, Weezing, Greninja. We do, however, have the Pokeball, so not a complete loss here. I see what we're doing here. Oh, Dratini, okay. This can be a bit of a difficult matchup, and he's definitely one of the more difficult ones, because this is a deck that benefits from the game going long, and with our sort of strategy of like decaying our opponent over time, you can play long games with this deck, right? It's pretty common unless you start to spike really early. However, we do pick up Froakie. We got the other Bruxish. I would have loved a Coughing here just because we have the Weezings to go. However, you know, maybe we can get there. They did whiff on the Misty, which is something at least. But Coughing there, I think, would have been perfect. We could still draw Coughing, and it's probably okay. We do have double Water Energy as well. We need to bear in mind. Because one thing that can get a little bit tricky is managing your energy, because you could say, oh, well, put the Water Energy on the Bruxish in the active spot, because without the Sabrina. So then it can attack, and then it sets up big attacks and so on, which is fine. However, you do have to think, like, let's pretend our next 3 energies are going to be dark. Suddenly, this Bruxish or this Froakie will never be able to get to attack, right? However, we do, of course, see that they played Sabrina. So we put this other Bruxish in. It is what it is. They're not even attaching energy to this Articuno. So, unfortunately, they've probably slowed down the game enough, especially now we can see that they have Electric. So this definitely could be a tricky matchup. Maybe not the best matchup to have first. I am actually planning on just recording the games, and they are what they are. I think I might actually just not only show me winning. I will just play some games, and the session is the session. However, of course, I'll try and win some games. I don't make deck guides or videos about decks that I think are bad. There's Coughing. Okay. Well, this can work really well now, because we have the Greninja as well. However, this is a tricky point. We could put the energy on the Bruxish to hit for 70. That'll be 90. Or we could put Dark on the Coughing so the Wheezing has Dark, because we know we're getting Water next turn. However, I do think this is a lot of damage, and because they're not even trying to... If they were trying to buff Articuno and power it up, I would do the Coughing play. But because they're not, I think we just bully this. Because if we can knock out this Articuno, we're going to feel really good about life. So we hit for 20. Always important to order, because now Bruxish will do 70. So suddenly we've just hit them for 90. And even what 2 potions isn't going to save this Articuno. A Sabrina won't save the Articuno, because we just put in the other Bruxish. So this starts to get a bit of a problem for them, honestly. They are, of course, juicing this Dratini a little bit, but they don't have Dragonair yet, so we've got at least some amount of time. One positive with this deck in this matchup as well is all of our Pokemon are relatively tanky, right? Greninja's 120, Weezing's 110, the Bruxish are 90, so they don't just melt to a Dragonite. So we can normally survive like 1 Dragonite attack. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 2. So they can't Geo us, though. Are they just going to retreat? No? Okay, fine. This seems a-okay. We now have X speed as well. Oh, there's a lot of interesting things going on here, actually. Okay, this is why the deck's fun. There's so many options all the time of ways you want to go about this. I'm going to put the Water Energy on Greninja because this spike damage could be important. We are then going to Shuriken the Dratini at the back, because Bruxish deals 70, right? So we may as well just knock this out. And already, I feel like we're in a good spot. Now, don't get me wrong. If they would have gone Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite, we would be in levels of problems here. However, you know, the game's the game, right? So second Articuno. This is kind of interesting. So this is where a Koga wins us the game. Because... Wait, does it? Oh, no, it doesn't. Wait, if we do that, do that. Yeah, it would, right? Because we would retreat the Bruxish, hit with Greninja for 20. We retreat the Bruxish, put the Weezing in, poison, hit with the Greninja for 20, so that'll deal 30, and then Koga the Weezing, and hit with the Bruxish, right? I think that would work. My brain's melting a little bit even thinking about it, honestly. Okay, so the play, I think here, our damage can be negated. Because, let me think, 80, 20, yeah. So our damage can be negated because this Articuno can retreat. So we do use the Sabrina, because either they put Dratini in and they lose, or they put Kangaskhan in, and now Kangaskhan is a 3 energy retreat. I actually think this might have been a slip up from our opponent here. Because the 3 energy retreat is just... it just can't go anywhere realistically. So this Dragonite isn't really going to get involved now. So here we just hit them for another smooth 90. And now, I mean, like, what in the world can be done at this point? And we still have... they've not got any points off us yet. which is really good. We still have Weezings. There's still Kogas in the deck. We have another loaded Bruxish. We still have Greninja going 20-20-20 every turn. It's really strong. Obviously, they bricked a little bit with the Dragonair. However, we still put enough pressure on. Okay, we're going first. Can we get a coughing start? Nope, we're not allowed. Okay. We do have, like, Frogadier is, like, okay to start, honestly. Like, going straight in with 30 is not terrible. Which sounds stupid because, oh, Farfetch'd does 40. And it's like, yeah, that's true. But it could be worse. Because if we think, oh, it could be a lot worse. Maybe we can run this down. With Froakie openings, these are not the openings you want at all, obviously. However, learning how to make them work is normally important with this deck. You have to sometimes accept that you're all in on Greninja. And okay, well, a coughing would be perfect. Okay, so now they red card us. We did all that card draw, which I often don't like doing on turn 1. However, it was important for us not to just sit with the Froakie. So I don't normally like doing that on turn 1. But I do think with this opening, if they're playing out Charmander, we should really dive on that, right? Because we have a type advantage. Okay, are we going to see X speed? No? Okay. We both started a bit poorly, and we've both kind of recovered. The big difference here is I can play off this Froakie, whereas they had to use their first energy to retreat, which is a big, big deal. Because we can start doing the cool stuff now, right? We can do this. We can do this. We can put our water, because we're going to play a little bit aggressive here. And we're just going to drip on them. Because we could research, but research doesn't gain us anything right now. Like, there's nothing to do, right? Research just makes it more likely that they're going to red card us next turn. And we have Greninja locked, loaded, ready to go. So we don't want to research. We just want to make it as low as possible. Oh, they're playing Ponyta as well. As low as possible a chance that they're going to get us. They are escalating this pretty quickly, though. Oh, hand scope. If this is hand scope red card, I'm gonna cry. But not on the video. Okay, that's fine. They just play hand scope for some reason. It is what it is. I'm shocked that like they're playing Ponyta and they have time and the space in the deck to play a hand scope, but what do I know? Oh no, this is not good for them, is it? Okay, we can start causing havoc now. So we get this Greninja active 100% of the time. We have Dark Energy, so wait, 30. Yeah, we rush this, right? We have a Dark Energy for Weezing next turn. I may as well properly research because I don't think they have red card. They would have used it. And I think 6120. I guess we play around double potion. It's a bit of a long shot. There's a huge argument here of 2 Mistlash beats the Moltres, so we should be Water Shuriken in something else. However, this does give us the option to back off with Greninja and bring in the Weezing. If there's no potion, right? Oh, well, arguably even if there is a potion. But this lets us like pull the Greninja back. Because normally, this is a weird game, but normally with Greninja, you sit him on the back. Obviously, you want a Water Shuriken, but he's really good to, like, jump in, right? When you Koga the Weezing, that normally deals 30, you jump in with Greninja and deal 60 instead. And then you can normally try and jump out again if needed. Okay, they recovered a little bit with this energy, so they're going all in on Charizard. We haven't drawn the Sabrina yet. There's another Froakie, which is nice for us, honestly. We have a Dark Energy, which... because we've got another Dark Energy, there's no point stacking Bruxish, so we may as well get the Weezing ready. And I think, yeah, I think it's actually time. So if I Water Shuriken, the... maybe we just go for this. Yeah, maybe we do this, actually. Water Shuriken the Charmeleon. because we will deal bonus damage as water here. We will retreat. Make sure to use the dark energy to retreat on Greninja. We will put this in. Get the Weezing involved. Because now, if they don't heal, then Bruxish can go in and deal, what, 90 damage to a Charizard? Which is huge. So basically, if they Charizard now, there's Sabrina they're potentially weak to. And there's like, they Charizard, delete the Weezing. We put in Bruxish, deal 90 plus 20 from the Greninja. And then the Greninja can go in and deal another, what, 100 the turn after if needed. So yeah, I'm guessing they have Charizard, right? Because they've chosen to put in the Charmeleon. There it is. So they're only on 160, which doesn't look that scary, right? So they're going to delete the Weezing. But then what? Oh, I actually wonder if we should... Because Bruxish always does the damage... Oh yeah, we've got to be fast here. Oh, this is a little bit awkward, actually. For some reason, I didn't really comprehend energy. Oh, wait, they can only slash. Yeah, because they only could get up to 4. Because we dealt with the Moltres fast enough. So this is fine. We're back onto A-OK territory. The coughing makes this a little bit cleaner as well. We can do this. We can get the Frogadier ready as well. Ready for next turn if needed. But we will, of course, Water Shuriken the Charizard. This again defends us from like potion to potion or something. Because now if they double potion, we have 100. So if this was exactly what Professor Research double potion, we win. So again, there's a lot of discussions of, oh, should I have been Water Shuriken in the other Charmeleon or the Ponyta? Maybe. But I think here it's important to just, because we could so easily deal with the Charizard and we had the setup, especially with the coughing pickup, I think it was fine to do how we did. And we just put on so much pressure on that Moltres that they just couldn't get going. They got off to a pretty bad start. But yeah, that's the deck. Just a couple of examples there. The deck can go really late. It can pile on pressure early with damage from, you know, Weezing open into Greninja with Bruxish on the side to Spike. It's really, really fun. And I think it's one of the more technical decks that I've made so far. So it's definitely worth trying out if you can.